What's good, people? I'm GALANACCI the Creator. I'm Manila-born, Cardiff-trained, and London-raised artist, designer, creator, and I'm the founder of GALANACCI, a luxury humanwear brand, inspiring you to realize your full potential. So we'll do a little recap of what I did this week. And to be fair, this week I mostly just focused on completing the mock-ups for the core collection, and I could show you some images, but I can only give you like a little sneak peek because we don't want no culture vultures here. Culture vultures trying to steal my she. But yeah, I'm cool with having my initial sketches out there because that's just the initial, like that's just a vision, that's just an idea. You have to develop the idea, and so me doing up the mock-ups this week is developing the idea further. And I'll give you a little, if you could see. So I mocked up this dope ass leather vest. So that's the sketch from the 365 series that I did last year. 365 days, 365 looks. And I'll give you a little sneak peek, just like a corner of the vest, you know. So it's a dope leather vest, and we'd have this, the keys to greatness emblem sort of embossed and mirrored, obviously on the upper chest. That's just like a signature for GALANACCI now, and that's the direction we'll be going. And yeah, I mocked up, how many pieces did I mock up? I lost my little post-it. I think I threw it. But yeah, I mocked up, oh, I got it here actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I mocked up 12 individual pieces, so back and front. And it ranges from cotton tees, cotton hoodies, leather vests. You got nylon bomber, leather jacket, leather vest. Oh shit. Damn. Dropped the phone, you get me. Some denim jeans, some denim jacket. Just a nice core, mini core collection, just to start off, like create the foundation, right, for the core pieces for GALANACCI. And this would be like the foundational pieces where it's the sort of the flagship design, and when you see it, you'd be like, yep, that's GALANACCI. So even if you just see the silhouette, even if you see just the techniques that we use, sort of like the branding, how we brand it and whatnot, you'll be like, yep, that's a GALANACCI. So yeah, I'm excited for this. You can see I'm gonna be building it up and adding more pieces. So currently it's at 12 pieces, individual pieces that you could play around with. There's also 2 sets, so you have a tracksuit, and then you got this knitwear with a paired knit trousers, I should say. And yeah, that's what I did this week. I mean, I was actually surprised because I did it quite quick. Like, I managed to finish everything this week, and that just goes to show, like, when you work on a skill, so it's technically me doing like renders, right? Because I'm rendering the sketches into a more lifelike render. So we had initial sketch, and then now we have the render. You can really see what type of material it is, the sort of finishes it has, the detailings and whatnot. And yeah, I did it all on Procreate on this iPad. But yeah, that's all you lot are gonna be seeing. Won't really drop anymore. I mean, I still post stuff online, but I'm gonna be blurring it out. Like if I'm sharing something, it's all gonna be blurred out. Cause I can't let these dope ass designs out there. At least the final designs. I don't mind sharing like the initial sketches. That's cool, man. Like that's open for interpretation, and that's just my gift to the world, And okay, that pretty much sums up the week. What I did this week. I need to get tissue. Hold on, man. I can feel my nose leaking. Fuck. Let me grab some tissue. Okay. Okay, we're back. I think it's time to talk a little bit more about the brand and how I see Galanacci as and what it is about and whatnot. So let's talk about like how did I conceptualize the brand. So I did this I conceptualized the brand back in July of 2021. So I knew I wanted to start a brand, but I needed to know sort of the purpose for the brand. So I wrote a manifesto, but then I sort of ended up writing this long poem called The Greatness Poem. And then in this poem I sort of explored the ups and downs of achieving greatness, and then also exploring how each individual person has it in them to become the potential to become great. And then it's just sort of a reminder telling that you have the potential to be great, so fight for it, discover it. So it's sort of a piece that directs the purpose of the brand, and it's just ingrained deeply into Galanacci as the brand, because that's what I took my time to write this long poem, and it just explores the purpose of the brand, the ins and the outs, literally. So that's the basis of Galanacci. It was conceptualized from a poem that I wrote, the Greatness Poem. And that just goes to show that this brand is about, its sole focus is on its purpose. Because before I even did any designs, made any logo, graphic designs and whatnot, it was that Greatness Poem that I wrote first that started everything for Galanacci. And then that poem itself has like a lot of references littered in it. Mentions of art, or not directly mentioning it, but it's sort of, in my mind when I was writing it, I was referencing sort of anime, like One Piece, boxing, and then life in general, And I think that's what makes that poem so strong and beautiful, because it's straight up from the heart, man. Like, it has my soul in it. Like, it's not like some chat GPT type shit, There's a real human behind it. I wrote it myself, and when you read it, it's written by a human. Like, there's the soul behind each word, And then that's how Galanacci was conceptualized. But then the actual origin of the name, so Galanacci, it sounds Italian, because it has that Italian influence. It's my artistic alias, but it's a play on... Oh fuck, I kicked the dickhead. Anyways, we'll cut that shit out. Maybe we'll keep it. But yeah, it's a play on my surname, Galan, and then the Italian mathematician, Fibonacci. And Fibonacci is from Italy. I think, yeah, Pisa. He's like a 17th century mathematician. He was like the one who sort of brought to light the Fibonacci sequence. So it's like, I believe it starts off with like 1, and then you add the recurring numbers before it. So it starts with it, so 1, and then you add it onto itself, and then it becomes 2, and then you add 1 and 2 together, that becomes 3, and then you add 2 and 3, becomes 5, and so on. It basically, it progresses. And that also kind of links with how I see Galanacci. It's progression, it's growth, you know. So it's kind of dope that even the name, when I first conceptualized the name itself, it wasn't even a brand. It was just like my artistic alias. Not even artistic alias, it was just like a Instagram user back when I wanted a one word username. This was like back in 2011, whatnot. So it wasn't even, I didn't even have fashion in mind. But yeah, it's a wordplay between my surname Galan and then Fibonacci. Combine the two, Galanacci. But actually, that reminds me, I created something like that exact wordplay, because my mom had an email, right? And it was called Galanara. So GALANARA. So the ARA stood for the initials of her children. So back then when she did that, there was 3 of us, but now there's 4. So the A and the R and the A, that's my siblings and my initial. And I was like, yo, that sounds dope. So this is way before I even put together Galanacci. I knew I wanted something like Galanara, but then like with my own twist on it. And then it's not until like I watched Prison Break, and then that's where I heard Fibonacci, like the actual concept of it, Fibonacci sequence and whatnot. And I was like, yo, that name sounds sick. So then I was like, in my mind, it was like, oh, Galanacci, Fibonacci. I was like, okay, cool, let's do that. Then boom, that's when Galanacci, the name itself, was first conceptualized. And then I sort of gave meaning to it. So from it being just a Instagram username to then picking it up as an artistic alias, and then turning it into a brand, trademarking it, turning it to a LLC here in the UK, and we're here now. Like, we're giving meaning to that name, and that meaning, I'd like to tie Galanacci with greatness, and that's what we're doing. And that goes, and then what am I saying, man? So then now we got to that point where we've given it meaning. It's now become this luxury human wear brand that I'm building bit by bit. So what is human wear? Like, what is that? So to me, before even coming into the space, or even once I realized what I wanted to do in the space, at least in the fashion, in the luxury fashion space, if I was going to start something here in this space, in this category, in this industry, I want to add to the space. I wanted I want to add value. I want to innovate the space. And that's how I sort of saw what Virgil Abloh did. He brought streetwear and luxury fashion together. And that's why we have all these luxury fashion that's surviving and doing well, like the Amiris, the Rudes, the Off-Whites, and everything else, you know. And I think I could definitely push this space further, because I have all this. Luckily for me, I have this unfair advantage of not having a 9-to-5 and being able to spend majority of my time building this brand, GALANACCI, and being able to innovate concepts and sort of design philosophies and whatnot in a concentrated manner. That's why I came up with the term Humanwear, and that's why I say that GALANACCI is a luxury humanwear brand. I don't say that. That's why I don't say it's a streetwear brand or it's a this or a that. It's specifically a luxury humanwear brand, and humanwear is what it sounds. So instead of focusing on the street, which streetwear was, it's streetwear reflected its surroundings, right? And the subcultures that sort of inhabit that surrounding. So then I was like, yo, okay, that's cool and all, but then that sort of reflects the surrounding. That's why you got the street in the name streetwear. And I was like, with the way I move, I'm very introspective and I look within, you know. And when you look within, you're looking into your human self, you know. So then I was like, what if your clothing could be sort of a catalyst, right? A tool that you use to reflect on your purpose, or even it could guide you onto your purpose. So that's when I was like, okay, cool. Let me use Humanwear, where instead of the street being the sort of the main basis of where fashion or the ideas revolve around, what if I look within and then use that instead to look to start the ideas, you know? And yeah, that's why I did Humanwear. It's introspection, man. It's looking deep within you, self-discovery. And I think that's what all humans need. They all need to have time to reflect and sort of look within, you know. So that's what Humanwear is. It's a tool to help you reflect on your purpose, who you are, who you really are, and whatnot. At least that's from the top of my head, that's why I see Humanwear. And then with that being said, we also have the slogan Pioneers of Greatness. So what is Pioneers of Greatness? I chose that slogan. It's not even a slogan, it sort of summarizes what I want to do with GALANACCI and the community I want to build and the community I want to attract. So it's people who are aligned with themselves, or they're on that journey, sort of discovering themselves, discovering what they want to do in life, their purpose, and then working towards that. That's why it says pioneers of greatness, plural. So I'm imagining this whole group of people pioneering their own definition of greatness. Doesn't matter what industry you are, as long as you're working towards your own definition of greatness, then you're a part of this community of people working towards greatness. And also, that slogan itself is rooted in the poem, so everything is connected with the way I approach GALANACCI. So from the brand manifesto to the purpose to the values to the designs, they all interconnect, and that's how it should be. There shouldn't be a disconnect, and there should always be a story. You should always tell a story with whatever you present. At least with GALANACCI, I want to focus on the storytelling aspect of it, and sort of stay away from just having aesthetics for the sake of having aesthetics. So for me, I want to create designs that tell a story and not just are there to look pretty. Because that, come on, man, that's, at least for me, that's too shallow. For me, I like to dig a little bit deeper, you know, and it reflects on what I do with GALANACCI and whatnot. And then that comes to the question of what is GALANACCI. So GALANACCI is a luxury human wear pioneering self-discovery and greatness. Or in other words, it's inspiring individuals to realize their full potential through fashion, through the medium of fashion, specifically luxury fashion. And why I chose luxury fashion is because for me, it's a luxury to know your purpose. It's a luxury because there are people out there that could spend their whole lifetime looking for their purpose. So for me to know my purpose, that's a luxury. And then for me to act on that purpose is a luxury. Even though everyone has the potential to be great and everyone has their purpose, not everyone lives it out. It's either because they're too distracted by the world around them, or they're too afraid to pursue their purpose. And yeah, I think that in itself is a luxury. That's why it's a luxury, because not many people can obtain it, even though you have the potential to obtain it. And that's what I see luxury as, and that's why I see, and that's why I've positioned GALANACCI in the luxury space as a human wear brand, and everything that's surrounding that. And yeah, man, I think that's getting long now. We'll wrap it up there. But yeah, man, hopefully that sort of breaks down what GALANACCI is, at least from the top of my dome. You know it's real, and I'm not like regurgitating BS. But yeah, man, we'll wrap it up there, man. We'll see you on the next one, man. Peace. Yeah, that's cool.